Welcome back to Judith Plains, Montana. I'm BP, and this is the 555 Challenge. Good morning from February, and we have some exciting things going on here at the farm. I'm headed down to the beer factory because beer has a great price today. So let's start off by getting that sold. We are down to $2,817 this morning after making our cursory $50,000 loan payment that we have every month. Making progress on it, but it is a hard hit every month. Now, real quick, before we get down to the Yuengling factory, want to show you guys the new truck on the farm. So, got a Mack Tanker truck. We ended up selling our big semi-trailer dairy tanker because it was just too much with the Volvo going back and forth to the BGA. Just didn't make sense to only have one truck. So we have the new Mack Tanker truck. I have this set up to collect the milk from the dairy barn and the buffalo milk from the buffalo barn on auto drive and bring it over here to our dairy. And it has been running back and forth, getting everything topped off. And as you guys can see, 70,000 liters of milk this morning and 3,300 liters of buffalo milk. We are getting our dairy production up and running. So very, very excited to have this guy on the farm. All right, let's jump back into the Super Duty. Go grab the beer. I did get the Nemesis, our Versatile, started in the new field we picked up last episode. So excited we're able to get the cornfield expanded again. And I've been doing a little bit of thinking about the plan. So let's go grab the beer that is out here. And I think we have a decent amount. I think it said what? Let's see. On the time-saving stock check, it says we have 15,000 liters. Now, my inclination is that might be what's inside the factory, because usually the stuff outside the factory doesn't count. So we might have 25,000 liters of beer or 25 pallets of beer to sell this morning. We'll find out here in just a minute. But it is going to Casey's gas station. Let's get that tagged. So anyways, I got the Versatile out in the field doing the liming on our new field we picked up last episode, so we can go and do the expansion after we get the beer sold. And we have some exciting news about some new equipment that just came into the shop we're going to work on today as well. I'm thinking that's all the beer, guys. Nothing more is coming out. Going to Casey's gas station for $26,000 worth of beer. Exciting. It was perfect timing getting that barley in at the end of January. And so here, as long as we're here, let's talk about my thoughts. So, turn the truck off. So we talked about swapping the barley field, which is over there in the distance, with the cornfield, which is right here next to us, which is still the plan. But the interesting news is, guys, I did some more thinking and looking. We can plant barley in April. So we should plant the barley even before we harvest the other barley. Now, we did talk about the barley and corn overlap and that we'd have to get it all in 1 month, which I think is totally fine. But we can get barley planted in the big field in April previous to getting the old barley field harvested, and have that earlier in the year to help keep the Yuengling beer factory all stocked up. So, let's head on out. Let's head up to Casey's General Store and get this stuff sold. Don't mind me driving on the grass just a little bit there. Didn't think it was worth taking our beer back over the scales. So, in addition to that, I said we'll go up to the shop. Got a new piece of equipment that I'm excited to get. Quick change from last episode, but had a great opportunity and didn't want to miss it. But I don't want to give it away, so we will head up there in a little bit. But for right now, I'm going to head to Casey's, and I'll meet you guys there to sell the beer. We are arriving at Casey's. Just making sure we don't have a beer incident here. Let's go ahead and get the straps off. Expecting about $26,000. 26,247. That will do. Can we get turned around in here? Excuse me, sir. Grab. Oh, look at that. Made it through without incident. All right, let's head back down to the farm. We should check on the Versatile and see what kind of progress he's making with the liming. And then I have everything staged out there, so there's no rocks in the field currently, but I do have the plow, the little plow, and the stone picker out at the new field, so that when we get done with the liming, we can connect the fields, stone pick that area, lime that area. And we talked about doing a little expansion on that field on the far end over by the hill. Don't want to get too far down the hill. We actually lost, we didn't lose, we actually gave back a bunch of land on this field right here to our right because we were not enjoying farming on that slope. So we'll have to see how that turns out and see where we go. But yeah, look, that the liming is looking good. And we have the Volvo staged out here. I brought the Volvo back to the farm to help with our purchase. It has been running slurry to the BGA. Man, that looks good. He's got to be all but done with the center rows. He is. All right. So we know we have to jump in and assist with the transition, which is fine. So let's come in here. Again, I said it last episode, so nice having our lime production on the farm for our lime needs. Don't have to buy it, don't have to mess with it. Just nice having it. It was nice and full this morning when we started off. Didn't have to think about running to the store and getting big bags or pallets or anything else. Just drive by the old lime silo, pick it up, and move on with our day. Alright, so he's going to finish up here, which is going to be great. That'll be ready. We'll plow this little strip between the two fields together, and then down over here we're going to do a little bit of work as well. So with that in mind, let's jump into the Volvo, and I'm going to top off the slurry just because it's good to have the tanker full. You can see we have 251 liters. That's what the BGA didn't take overnight. So we are keeping the BGA topped off and running, which makes a big difference. Every little bit of money we can pull in each month to chip away that $50,000 loan payment makes a big difference. And as I said last episode, I think we're getting to the point where the money is coming in and we are looking good. So no complaints about that. Another 3 pallets of eggs. Great news. So, head over here. Excuse me, ladies. We have no slurry in here. That is okay. We must have grabbed it this morning. Let's go check the buffalo barn. Really happy with the gates we added to these pens. Wish we had cattle guards so the animals, we felt like they wouldn't be getting out, but in order to be able to run auto drive and keep the farm moving, we have to have some automation, and that is just the price we pay. Now here is one of the areas where I really started having problems with the trailer the other day. So let's see what happens here. 55,000 liters of slurry here at the buffalo barn. The buffalo barn, look at all those trees that we planted. They're not big yet, but this was wide open. And now the buffalo have a really nice wooded patch. It was on this hill. It was always windy, which if you remember, we invested. Oh, look how tight these trees get. Oh, man. Running through the forest. Here we go. Find another. Gotta find a way through. We invested in some wind turbines early on because of how windy this hill was, because the wind coming across was always blowing. So we have 4 of them down here just to give us a little supplemental income. But these trees are going to do a great job of protecting the buffalo from all that wind. So back here at the truck, now here is this little hill, loves to give us a headache. There, and the tandem axle handled it without a problem. It's so funny because that triple axle setup we'd had for a while and had no problems with it, but went in the other day and all of a sudden it was creating havoc all over the place. So it got switched back out and we are happy with what we got. So let's leave the tanker here. It will be full and ready for the BGA run at the end of the day. And let's run up to the shop and check this stuff out. So I know last episode we bought the Reefer, or I'm sorry, we bought the tarp side trailer and did all of our sales and worked really well. The reason we got a tarp side trailer was because there were no Reefer trailers in FS25. I searched high and low, could not find a single one. Well, guess what? The same guy who gave us the demo last episode, or a couple episodes ago, with the new Kenworth truck, which, by the way, guys, there are a ton more accessories coming for that truck. A flat deck, a logging deck, and a tipper that attach directly to the chassis are coming on Tony's Kenworth mods. But Tony heard my inquiry about the Reefer and has put together a Reefer trailer, the first one that I'm aware of in all of FS25. So we're going to go up there and we are going to sell the tarp side trailer. It was good to us, it did its job, but the Reefer is what we need really to be transporting things like cheese, the milk products, anything that is perishable, probably eggs as well. So we're going to go up to the store, swap out the trailers, and get the new Reefer. And guys, there is a little surprise in addition to there just being a Reefer. But I'm going to go through the whole tractor trailer setup with you guys and show you all the options because it is really, really well done. I will additionally put Tony's itch.io page back up on the screen for you guys. Always go to Modder's itch.io page or GitHub or their Discord, wherever they have their mods. Make sure to download the mods directly from the modder. Well, enough on all that. Love what Tony did for us. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it. Pulling into the store here with the old tarp side. This is the busiest part of town. Everyone loves hanging out at the shop to see what I come down here and buy. Like a local celebrity, as much money as I'm spending here. So let's grab the trailer here. We'll disconnect. And perfect. Leave the Volvo there. Take this into the shop. It's got $2 worth of repaint, or $15 worth of repaint and $2 worth of repair. Gonna sell that. $23,000. Was a good trailer, but not the one we wanted. So here is the new trailer, guys. The 53 Manic Van Reefer, $29,500, done by Tony again. And it starts out as just a regular box truck. So if you want just a regular box trailer, it has auto load built in, or is auto load compatible. So you're good to go there. You can have that. We are going to customize this. Top lights, bottom lights, yes. So it adds some running lights, some marker lights. Then we're going to go top light amount. We're going super chicken lights. We want them all. Bottom light, super chicken lights. We want them all. Top light color, red, white, orange. I'm thinking we go orange on the top, and then the bottom, let's go white. Let's mix it up a little bit. Now, here's where you can add the Reefer down here. Look at that Reefer unit, guys. Has the digital display, has all the cables coming down. Looks really, really sharp. Pinstripes, we're going to go with no pinstripes. But if you scroll down far enough, look at that, guys. Got the logo on the trailer. That is amazing. So QR codes. And yes, they work, Tony says. These are the ones on the side of the trailer. Give you some information about it. We're keeping those on there. Body color, all of our trucks and stuff are this nice dark maroon. Frame color, Tony has a dark black that I really like. That's the landing gear and the axles over there. Accessories, we're going to go with the dark black as well. That gets all the metal parts on the outside of the trailer done, looking good. Reefer, we're going to go with the crimson red to match. That is a sharp looking trailer. The stripe, let's go with dark black. There we go, got that all cleaned up. Rim color comes with chrome, comes with all kinds of colors. We're going black to match the Volvo. And that is it. So, last thing I want to do is come in here and adjust the auto load a little bit. It's not all the interior, like dry van auto loads are a little bit off. So we're going to bring that up to the ceiling. And then this one, it does stick out the tiniest bit past the doors. So there we go. So that is the trailer. We're buying it for $29,500. Awesome, awesome stuff. Let's pick up the new trailer. Look at that beauty over there. Looking good. Let's get connected up and turn on the lights, do a quick walk around. Should have washed the Volvo before we came down here. Volvo's looking scummy compared to our new trailer. We are. Get some lights on. Alright, let's get out and take a look. Orange on top, white on bottom. Digital display, all the hoses. The logo looks great. Got some DOT reflective striping. Inside is nice with the wood texture. Got your brake lights. This thing looks great. All right, let's go ahead and close the doors. Man, does that look sharp. Ooh. Found my new favorite trailer in the game, guys. Okay, now what are we going to do with the Reefer now that we have it? Well, we're going to use it as a dry box for the first couple runs, because the first couple things we don't need to refrigerate. We could have used it to pick up the beer and and delivered our beer ice cold to Casey's. But we are going to run down and let's take a quick look here and see. Man, I can't stop looking at that thing, guys. It looks amazing. We have, where is it, sunflower oil to sell. 200 or 74 pallets, $161,000. That is going to the Hobson General Store. So let's tag that. And that's going to be down on the other side of town. So we'll run back to the logistics center and get the sunflower oil loaded up. Now, I'm going to try to be smart about it. We talked about this last time. If we park the trailer by the point outside the logistics center where the sunflower oil comes out, and we have it on auto load, it should just load the entire trailer. And we shouldn't have to wait for it all to come out, then load some, then wait for more and load some. So we're going to head back there and we're going to try to be smart. It doesn't always work out. Always try to be better, smarter, more efficient, but the best laid plans of mice and men never quite turn out how we all expect, but we're going to give it a whirl. This field over here, guys, I'm thinking we plant that back to grass. That's just my thought, but I'm thinking instead of putting corn back in there, because we're going to have the corn, the huge cornfield, plus the chaff cornfield, I think we make that grass, or we could look at another crop altogether. I had a weird urge to do some cotton. I'm not sure that size field would warrant buying the cotton equipment, but we could consider leasing the cotton equipment for a year and see if it is financially viable or not. So let's get the doors open. Man, oh man, am I excited for this trailer. Pulling on in. Now, if we get set up here, right, and we turn on auto load, which we just did, then we come in to the logistics center, and we scroll down to sunflower seed oil, which is going to be right here, and we change that to storing. And right, we have sunflower seed oil here. Look at that. It's loading for us. A plan is coming together, guys. 25,000 liters, 25 pallets in. Got the straps on the bottom to hold everything in. That is great. 37, there's 40,000 liters. We are more than halfway there. This is going really, really well. Excited to see how this turns out. Up over 50, closing in on 55 pallets of the 74 we have. I don't know, guys. This is going almost flawlessly. Just absolutely incredible. 4 pallets to go. And done. That is it. That worked so well. All right, cool. Well, let's come back down here. Let's turn it back to distributing so that we don't have it popping out next time. We do want to get out of the truck and just see. I don't think we can get in this truck, can we? Oh, we can get in? Oh, that's amazing. Look at that. The straps come down, everything. I mean, we're what? We're full to about here. So, like almost 2/3 of the truck, and we have 75 pallets of sunflower. Now, granted, they're short pallets. They're not very tall, like, say, maybe the cheese ones or some of the other ones, or like wool pallets. But that holds an absolute boatload of pallets. Heading down to the Hobson General Store to sell our sunflower oil in the new Reefer trailer from Tony, guys. Make sure to give him some love. Check out the HIO. This thing is incredible, but also very top heavy. Oh, all right. Well, I'll get a reset, and I'll see you guys down at the Hobson General Store. We are almost there, and I owe you guys an apology for that tip over. I was so excited about the trailer. I didn't do what we always do. Always load with layering in that situation. I went with stacking, got the weight high, and that's why it tipped. Not paying attention, just super excited for the new Reefer trailer. So, got everything in here. I'll show you guys. Reloaded it, layered, distributed the weight, got it down low in the trailer, and had absolutely no problems once we got the load put in there appropriately. So, I don't think we've ever sold at the Hobson General Store. We are in year 4, guys, and still finding places to sell on this map. Judith Plains is incredible with a number of places in different areas of the map. There still are $160,519 for that sale. Great, great stuff. Let's head back up to the farm with the Reefer. I'll meet you guys there, and we'll work on our massive cornfield extension. The Versatile did a great job getting the field all lined, so now it is time to combine the fields. So I think the easy part's going to be this strip right here between. May have to do a little bit of matching of the edges. But we want to take a little bit of land over there, and I always tend to get a bit aggressive when expanding my fields, as is evidenced by the fact that we had to reclaim some grassland over on this side after I went too far down the hill with the last expansion. So let's drop the lime spreader off here. We're going to need it again. That's going to have to come back out with us. Let's grab our plow. And remember, before you do any placing of buildings or expansions of fields, always save your game. I already did, but just a reminder, you can always come back and try it again. Even if it seems like a simple, quick expansion, simple, quick, whatever it is, just make sure that you have a good game save to come back to. So here we are. We will run this guy down here. This is going to be the easy part, like I said. Not too worried about this. Now, it'll be interesting to see, sometimes these grass areas come in fertilized when you plow them, and other times they have no fertilization state. So we may actually have to run a little bit of fertilizer up here when we're all said and done. Let's take a look at that real quick, and just out of curiosity, just see what we're getting into. So fertilized. Yeah, so the field we bought, 48, fully fertilized. The grass area we're mowing up is coming in with 1 fertilization state. And this whole area up here is coming in with basically none. I mean, where we expanded the field, we're getting 1 fertilization state. So we'll be bringing the manure spreader out here sometime. Probably, I'm guessing that'll happen in March when it warms up a little bit. Still 38 degrees, still pretty cool out to be flinging some muck, but we'll get that out here and we'll get the whole field fertilized up, so when it comes time to plant the corn, we can just rip through the corn planting. So coming down here, I don't even know that I've seen this edge of the field, this corner down here, where we're going to be combining, so I'm not sure how they line up. I know there's a road there. I guess we did see it at one point, because we talked about combining the next field as well. But there was that sign down there at the corner, the infamous Judith Plains signs that we can't seem to get rid of, that would allow us to expand more. I'd love to get rid of some of the stop signs by the yard. It makes no sense that we load in every episode, knock them all down, only to do it again the next time we come in. So, oh, this edge will be nice. I did over expand a tiny bit on this corner when we did that one. But this will be nice and easy. So pick that up. All we really have to do is line up with this outside edge. And that's not going to take a whole lot past that. And then we just pull straight across. Boom. That was easy. All right, so now for the part where we're not going to go crazy. Let's drive around the edge. So we could buy that field eventually and combine them. We can't buy this little dirt field up here on the right because of the sign there. We always have a sign in the middle of our field. I guess we could just have a sign in the middle of the corn, but that seems even a little too unrealistic for us. So this edge I feel like is pretty good. Don't really want to chase that down the hill very much. Now this area here though, this feels like, number one, I don't like this corner for the combine purposes. Sort of, it is technically a 90, but then very quickly traces itself back, and I see that being a lot of missed crops. So I think we come right in here, drop this down, and we come across. Again, don't get too low on the hill, but I think we can take all of this. Again, just trying to stay far enough up the hill that we're not going to be harvesting on too much of an angle. Yeah, see, this part is going to be a little bit steep. We may have overcommitted exactly as I said I was going to. Yeah, that is very, very steep there. We'll have to see year one harvest how all of that comes out. So let's continue right here. I do want to make this straight across. That bump in the field there does not make any sense to me, and seems like just another spot for the combine to miss some crop. And then we got to sort of snap our end here. Oh, that might have worked out just about perfect, guys. Look at that corner. Do I need to go one a little bit further? Right there. That's it. I like that. That corner came out well. All right, so we squared that up. This area over here, I may have overcommitted. It may be a case of a little bit of regret later on. But for now, we will drop the plow and get the rest of this plowed up. Then we'll come back around with the stone picker. We still have to connect the corners of the field over there where we have the implements stored. I'm not worried about that, just don't want to forget. Yeah, this whole area I think makes sense to have as field. That little bit over there where the slope is so steep, that might have some problems with the harvester in the future. But that could also be a future me problem. So we'll have to just see how that one shakes out. Adding a little bit of acreage to our fields. Alright. All there is to do now is to fill in the area in between. I think if we do a little creative plowing here, we get all of this without having to come back. Alright, then we just give it a quick course correction. Okay, perfect. Working out as intended. I will say, I don't know if anyone's ever done it here, but if you ever try creating fields with an articulated tractor, the articulation part is brutal when trying to do detail work. So, like having a small tractor with a smaller plow, a lot more control. Yeah, I think we will regret that little spot over there, but, you know, we'll regret that another day. We'll get an extra couple 100 liters of corn out of it, which will make it all worthwhile. We need to move the stone picker back because this field goes way out past this other one. Alright, so we'll drop the plow, grab the stone picker. It is funny, I do feel like the Versatile is much less maneuverable with the dual narrows on it. I feel like it takes a lot longer to get turned around, particularly when backing up. Okay. Here is the tricky part. Now, guys, I might even say we've had, yeah, see the plow without the auto pickup makes a little mark in the field. I might even say it's going to be worth saving again here, because this part could go awry quite quickly. I don't think it will. I've got a pretty good idea. You know what? We're going to live. We're going to live on the edge. We're going to do things that we know we shouldn't because of the overconfidence in our own abilities. And if it works out, then we are a self-fulfilling prophecy. If it doesn't, are we not on Create Field anymore? We are not on Create Field anymore. Alright, if it works out, then we're heroes. If not, then we look back and know we should have done better. I'm using the front loader arm, the left one, right on the edge of the current field to try to keep as straight a line as possible, keep the front of the tractor lined up with where we're going. And so far, we're leaning towards the hero side of this, not the zero side of it, but again, it can go awry at any moment. Glad that sign isn't closer in. That could have been an unforeseen challenge. Okay, we're going well. The edge is relatively straight for hand plowing it. We are going to have to sweep the corner up here and try to tie it in. We did such a good job tying in the corner when we expanded that now we're going to have to try to do it again. So right here, we'll snap around hard. And right there, boom. Well, every once in a while it comes up hero, guys. That is a good looking field expansion. I am pleased with that. Let's get the stones picked up. And let's put the lime down, and we'll call it an episode there. So I'll bring you guys back in after I have the stones up, probably right when we're dropping the lime in, and getting the final field prep done for the new giant cornfield. See you guys in just a minute. Got all of the stones picked up, 664 liters. Not a lot, but enough that we didn't want to leave it on the field. Now let's grab our lime spreader, and we finally, this is probably the last field expansion over here, because I don't think we can go the other way with that sign. So this will be the last one for this field, but we have become land barons with our current field setup. Just absolutely massive field here for the corn. Excited for what that's going to do for our Jack Daniel's whiskey production, because we're going to have so much corn. I'm glad we're expanding the barley field as well, because I suspect we will need a lot more barley too. You can see I didn't stone pick the whole area, just sort of zigzagged around and grabbed whatever was necessary to get the stones out of here. Don't see much of a purpose in just stone picking the whole thing blindly so that we can say we did it. Just did a little spot picking here and there, got everything squared up and put away properly so the field can be in good order. So outside of that, I think we had a very productive episode. I will say I've been working on getting some automation on the farm with auto drive. We have the slurry run down to the BGA, which we can also run manure when and if we have too much manure. But with our field expansions, I have been hesitant to take any manure down to the BGA in case we need it for fertilizer here, because it's just so much more affordable to spread manure on our fields instead of buying solid or liquid fertilizer. And it's funny because we have a very nice solid fertilizer spreader that I keep seeing every time I park the Versatile, but we haven't used it since maybe the first couple of episodes because we went right to manure, and it has been such a money saver for us. So we have the BGA run down on auto drive. The new milk tanker truck is set up to collect both the buffalo milk and the cow milk on auto drive and take it over to the dairy for us. That was a terrible setup, guys. We're going to loop back and get squared up. We had a little skid there and ended up facing the wrong way. So the milk tanker truck will run all that stuff automatically. That's why the dairy is fully stocked this morning. I did try to get the goat's milk on the automation as well. I actually put a fence in, or a gate in, the goat pen fence so that the tanker truck could drive in there and pick up the goat's milk and take that over to the dairy as well. However, the tanker does not hold goat's milk, and getting auto drive to pick up the milk from the pallets turned into a bigger project than I thought it ended up being worth. So we did install lazy distributions, which is a mod that allows you to basically put a cell point or a silo point over the spawn area of the goat's milk and the wool, and it treats it like a little mini silo with the production in it, and it just distributes it to the logistics center. So the sheep pen and the goat pen have been automated as far as getting the animal goods out of the pen. They then go to the logistics center or potentially directly to their productions as well and get distributed. But we're trying to get the routine tasks automated here on the farm, because as we get bigger, every single month just brings a lot of base level work, and we want to focus on driving the farm forward, not on the repetitive tasks. So that's where we are with that stuff. I'll be looking for additional opportunities to put more things on auto drive. Don't know that we'll use the lazy distribution for much else than that. It really just came down to the fact that the tanker doesn't take goat's milk, so there was no other way to do it without having to do a different mod or having a second or third tanker which just didn't make much sense. So in that regard, we are in really good shape here on the farm. Lots of things happening in the background, keeping things going. I am hopeful that when we get to harvest time this season, which will be, you know, the end of the year and even into the beginning of next year, that we are going to have so much stuff, crops, animal products, everything else, we can start making a big chunk payment on our loan. Let's take a quick look at that as we wrap up. There is the last little bit of liming on this area. So our loan, guys, still owe $3.415 million, and I do think the 78 is the number of payments left, because it was 79 when we checked last episode or in January, and now it's down to 78. So we have a lot of payments left on that loan. We need to start putting money towards that. It feels ineffective to put like $50,000 towards the loan. I really want to put a big chunk, like put $1 million towards it, but we might just be in a spot where, you know, a day like today, we have $186,000. Maybe we should put $50,000 towards it and put it down. You know, guys, I think that's a good idea. Let's start putting money towards our loan when we get it. Doesn't have to be a lot. It's not going to feel like we're making a ton of progress, but every little bit of that loan that we're not paying interest on is going to help us. So let's get the last of this lime done, and then we're going to put $50,000 on the loan. It's the first time we've made a prepayment. We're in year 4 before we got that done, but the loan is the big thing we need to work on getting under control. So field expansion done, and man, oh man, does that look good. Look at that whole field. Let's turn the fertilizer off. Let's turn that off. That is huge. I mean, look at that compared to our other fields. Here's our combined field for soybeans. We felt huge at the time. When we first started out, the corn field took forever to harvest. It felt so big. Our big grass field here, none of that compares to how big this is. Let's see. This field, they claim, was 7.19 acres. This one's 23, so let's just call that 30. Plus another 13, we're at 43, and 27 would take us to a 70-acre field at a minimum, plus the areas we expanded. So that is absolutely enormous. Now, heading into the loan, let's make a special redemption. We're going to pay $50,000. It doesn't feel like a lot, but it's all going to help. So there we go. We made a $50,000 payment, and look at that, guys. Took our payments down to 68. So putting $50,000 down just saved us, is that 9 payments? Wow. Okay, we need to be putting money down on our loan. That is incredible. So that's going to be it for this one. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to drop a like and turn on notifications for more videos. Channel memberships are available if you'd like to support my content further. And channel members do get early access to upcoming videos. That's all for this episode, but I'll see you in the next one.